Now let's have a look at how gestural scores can represent certain kinds of sound contrasts. In this case, we see a minimal pair of words in which the only difference is the voicing of the initial consonant. Gestural accounts would say that the articulation of these two words is nearly identical, with the only real difference being that the word pad must have one additional gesture compared with the word bad. Specifically, the glottis has to start open in pad and remain open just a bit longer than the gesture of bilabial closure lasts. This is what allows for a reasonable amount of voice onset time, during which air can rush out, the phenomenon we refer to as aspiration. No such asynchronous timing is necessary in bad. A subtle place difference could be represented, even if the articulatory tier that's used in both elements is the same. Here the word sad is contrasted with the word shad. In both cases, the tongue tip is the main articulator at the beginning of the word, but in the first one the tongue tip makes contact at the alveolar ridge with the manner of contact allowing for a fricative. In the second version, the tongue tip still creates a fricative in its manner of movement, but the movement of the tongue tip is toward the post-alveolar region rather than toward the alveolar ridge itself. Here we see a gestural account of metathesis, with the switching of sounds involving onset and coda consonants. This is quite easy. It's a literal reversal of the two articulatory gestures necessary for the two consonants. Some very well-studied cross-linguistic differences have received a gestural treatment too. For example, the English word bun will sound a little bit different from the French word bon, which means good. The speech sound segments are identical, but there's a subtle shade of difference in pronunciation. Gesturally, we can see that the biggest difference is the relative timing of the velum opening compared with the movement of the tongue tip toward the alveolar ridge. In the English production, the velum opens during the vowel, leading to a slightly nasalized vowel, but not in the French production. The timing is much more coincident, leading to almost no nasalization of the preceding vowel. Similarly, the English word to is slightly different from the French word tout, meaning all. In particular, the glottal opening ends at the same time as the stop releases in French. Because of this coincident timing, the French t is not aspirated. It can't be, since the glottis is not open at the right time to allow air to rush out, as it does in English. In the final segment on gestural phonology, we'll look at the effects of subtle changes in the timing of the movements of some articulators, and how these kinds of changes might change the word that we're saying.